Okay, I'm gonna do another little video. This is my junk room here. Um, so what I did is I got this, and I'm using my little portable instead of a good camera again because it's convenient and I got hands. This is a APC backup UPS, and I've got a couple of these and they come in really handy, and I'm going to show you why later. But the first thing is you've got to connect the battery. So before you use it, and this particular one has a USB port. That's one of the reasons I bought it. And it's got 5 battery backup ports. So these 5 are battery backup. These last 2 are surge only. And you'll see later when I start hooking stuff up why this one is fine. Surge only, it's not going to be on battery where this other stuff will. So it's actually a feature, not a minus. So this particular one, they do this brand here, UPC, is we've used them at work a lot, and you know, the big ones. And I like these little ones because they're portable. So I can take this and put it in the camper, you know, the RV. So this particular one, I think, I'm not going to read the directions because I figure if you have to read the instructions to do something, it's probably too hard. So all you got to do is hook up and get it all back in. Hook up this hot, if you will. You see a little sparky spark there, sparky arky, and then stuff it all back in the way it came. And it's you know, they're kind of pre-charged, but it needs a full charge put on it. And so that's that on that. And then of course you plug it into 110. And I'm going to be hooking up a lot of equipment to this, so we'll get back to that a little later. The other thing I should have mentioned is once you plug it in, so I've got it plugged in to a power strip, which you shouldn't do. It's going to turn on, and if it's green, it's good. If it's beeping, that means, you know, there's something wrong. The reason why you want one of these, not only for when the power goes out, but it's a power conditioner, and it's the best one, and it's going to give you full sine waves, which some of the battery stuff won't do. So if you have some sensitive stuff that you need to plug into 120 regular household outlets, this is going to be conditioned, this is going to be conditioned. When the lights go off, these will stay on, these will go off. And plus you have a USB, so you can put a nice big USB hub there and plug it in to one of the powered connectors if you want. And these ones look like they're spaced okay. I almost wish they would turn these around so when you get those big packs on there that you know, you don't cover up everything. So, but you can plug a power strip into these, and we'll do that later. Okay, the next thing we're going to hook up here is a S155 portable power supply. And the reason you want one of these is because this is going to be your battery for, you know, your 12 volt. So 12 volt is cool. It's, you know, the way you should try to go for everything. So in my other video, I use like a car jumper kind of thing. This is kind of similar to that. This is like this battery. It was $60 on Amazon. I think I'll have to look this one up. It wasn't extremely expensive. I think it was in the same neighborhood. It's got a flashlight on there, which I'll show you more. DC plug. That's where I'm going to be putting adapter on there to plug in some of this kind of stuff. And then it's got a bunch of like options for you know, you have a full power option here, an ungrounded power option there, a couple of USB ports to plug different things. You can plug a USB hub into that. These will be used for I'm going to actually have a hub that I'm going to hook up that where you can plug 3 of these guys in and then do the 12-volt power. So we'll get that up and running here pretty quick. So you know, it comes with a power supply, so we're going to plug that in to here to charge that up. The other thing this one has is an option for solar panels. So you can actually charge this off of a panel. You know, you buy this solar panel for 100, 150 bucks, and it's got, get the ones if you do that with all the voltage converters and whatnot. And then, you know, you have everything you need. So here we have a battery connector with the male one. This is the female one that I'm going to hook a hub up to in a while. And then I'll show you more about that as the time comes. I'm not going to bore you, you know, on packaging everything. It's just good to know what the model number if you decide to get this one. It's got a lot of, I looked at a lot of them. And I looked at just getting the jumper box, but I think overall this one's going to do the trick for me because I can charge this so many different ways. That we even have, my brother Nick even bought a hand crank AC generator that you could actually charge this up. You know, if you want to sit there long enough, you could charge something like this up and then use it. So I'll be hooking more of this stuff up soon. So plugging it in, I chose one of the battery ports, mainly because, you know, these converters, AC to DC, they take up, you know, they're kind of wide, and then it plugs just into the port that says DC in, and then it displays it's charging. It looks like it comes almost all the way charged. So you have a little display there showing what's going on. And I know there's a way to turn that flashlight on too. I just don't know how. Oh, my God, that's bright. Look at that. Wow. So it's, you know, it's something you can carry with you if you're out camping. But we're going to be setting up a mobile base station here using a scanning CP. So stay tuned. So I told you about the hub I got for the AC adapters. Now the reason why I've got, you know, 2 or 3 of these, because I plan on, well, I'm going to hook up a CB radio or 2, a CB and probably a GMRS, you know, the general mobile radio service, the new stuff, and chargers and different things. So, you know, this is pretty cool because you know, you can turn the ports off and on and they light up, let you know which ones are on, and it also gives you the voltage. This is an Amazon item, and I'll give you the prices on all this stuff at the end sometime, somewhere. So this guy is plugged into the battery, which I'm probably gonna move it over to one of these ports after it fully charges. So when the power goes off, anything I have plugged into here, which you'll see once I get everything lined up, is going to be charging off of this battery, or I could move the power over to this, which I'll probably have other stuff plugged in. We'll see how much stuff. My other video I've got at the coast, I've got one of these guys, and I've got a bunch of stuff powered off of it, and another bigger battery. So like my internet stuff and everything, I may or may not hook all that stuff up here. I'm going to move this. This is my like work area. It's a junk space. I also have a bunch of computer stuff that I do on the side, which I don't do too much anymore. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. More coming. Alright, well, what's next? I'm glad you asked. This guy here is about $90 on Amazon, right around there. You might be able to get it for $89 on sale in somewhere. Well, you know, there's not a whole lot of places. Around here we go to Bi-Mart in the Pacific Northwest. And I think I've seen those on sale for 90 bucks. In the box you get a 9-volt AC to DC adapter. You get a adapter from your accessory port, which, remember, we have one here, but I've got my hub plugged in there because I want to plug a couple things in there. So I've got a couple of options for plugging in my radio. This particular one, it also comes with a battery pack, which I'm going to put in there, and I know I think I saw these at Bi-Mart where you can buy more of these. So I would get a couple of those and charge them up for, you know, we're talking about the end of the world when the zombies come. You've got this little shoulder strap to go with it, cute little mic, and it's even got a, well, you've got your manual, of course. I've got a box over here that I put all my extra stuff. And this base camp radio, the reason I bought it, it's GMRS, which, you know, is General Movo. Plus it's got all the channels on it, and it's got a crank, so you can crank charge it. You can charge it with AC, DC. It's endless, the possibilities you have here. So if you look, it's got AM channel, FM channel, WX, and GMRS. So you have a couple of bands there you're not going to find everywhere, and we'll get into that more later. It's even got a little light. I think the battery might be dead in this one. I'm going to plug it in to charge it. And I think it's even got, you know, it's got the tuning for the radio and whatnot. So when I get this going, I'll show you more about that. And it's this this box that you're looking for, the XT511, if you want to go that route. This guy is really going to be useful when you're out in the woods, and you know, it's great that we have this. It's got the codes and everything, so you can lock it down. But I think you're going to hear more people out in the woods. Everybody's got those little pager size things with the clip-ons that they're using in the woods, so you want to have something like this for the new stuff. And I'm going to hook up a CB radio for doing a little bit longer distance stuff and no traffic. So pretty cool stuff. And you know, when I get all done here, it's not going to be that freaking expensive for what's there. This guy's got a couple of options for batteries. When you open the back up, there's a battery pack, plus you have 4 what are those flashlight type batteries, AA's, I guess. These are what I call zombie batteries, because I got them out of you know, those little lights you buy at the Dollar Tree or whatever. The wife had a bunch of those stuck out in the yard, so I took those out. But you know, of course you're going to want to get some good batteries. So I had these all charged up and they charge okay. They're NiMH, so nickel metal hydrate, and that'll just be good to get it fired up. And then the battery pack, and then I'm going to charge that up. So I'm going to stick all this stuff on. I haven't decided yet which one. Lots of options. I know this one, if I have to run right now, if the zombies get here, I'm going to be unplugging this guy and taking it with me into the woods with him and go from there. Alright, so I put the battery pack in, and I put in those crappy rechargeables, which I'm going to take out. It says alkaline on the dial, or in the back, I guess, and on the face. So I think they expect that you're going to put alkaline batteries in here and the battery pack in there, which the alkalines are really bad that I've got, and they didn't connect the first time, but they're in there now. It looks like they're yeah, it's not going to work. I'm going to take them out. I don't know what that message meant. There's a switch on the front for switching over the rechargeable, and then anything you do, it's going to show up on the face. I'm going to switch back over the alkalines and see if they're going to work at all. So there's how you change channels. It's got a cute little radio. I haven't tried it yet, or a mic rather. And here's an antenna, little mic. There's your crank. If the zombies do come, you can crank it to charge it. And it's got a little mic clip here. And let's see here. Let's do a real quick little test. Here's volume, and they've got tone too. I'm just gonna set the tone kind of like in the middle. And I haven't had this thing on yet. So I'm gonna grab one of my little radios. These are Midlands too, GMRS little models. It comes with rechargeable batteries, and these are nice because they're USB charged. USB, lots of USB stuff for charging up stuff like this. That's what I was saying, why you need that without having to have adapters and stuff like that. Channel 12, let's give it a test. Test channel 12. 12 test. Works. So I'm using the little Midlands. I'll show you those later if I didn't already. They come like this with all the batteries. I bought this one for my brother, and he already had something similar. These come with the weather channels and all that stuff. So right now the weather is on, it's loaded. So if there's an alert, it'll just come right in, break right in, and it'll give you the weather alert. So let's try to key up this guy. 12 test, 12. So hey, look at that. Everything works right out of the box. I got my little my hub for the 12 volts. So I wanted to hook everything up 12 volt because if you're on the run, you're going to be using the 12 volts. So you'll use your cigarette adapter in your car or truck. 12. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Those crappy batteries I put in there. We'll get back to this later. More on that later. And it's a lot of fun. Okay, everything you're seeing here, the battery, this little hub, this what I call personal battery pack. This is a UPS, so you have, these are lithium batteries in both of these, so you can leave them plugged in. And that's the big difference between like that. If you look at my earlier video, the first one, I've got one of those jumper things, jump starter. That's something you can use, when you're fishing around. All that stuff I put together out of crap that I had laying around forever. This is all new stuff. I'm not going to bore you by, a lot of things I see on YouTube, they're opening the boxes and they make a big deal out of that. I really am opening the boxes on all this stuff. This guy, this. I already had these, and by the way, this one is scanning. It's got rechargeable batteries in it, and it's got a USB split cable so you can recharge two of them at the same time. One thing I noticed is that those batteries are really discharging fast. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure I had it charged. I've got my 1000 channel scanner here. I've had this for probably 10 years. It's got everything, and I'll show you that later. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm going to put together this President Walker 2 radio. It's got a lot of stuff, and the reason I bought it, it's like under $100 on Amazon. I literally ordered this stuff a couple of days ago, and it all got here yesterday. I just didn't have time to mess with it yesterday. But this radio, the reason I bought it, first of all, is it's a good brand that's been around forever. It looks like it's got a lot of features that I wanted, and it's under $100. So you can look on Amazon and find this radio, the President Walker 2. And look at this. I usually don't bore you with opening these packages. Not quite sure what that was. It's got the feet. I'm going to use this as a base station, so I'm going to look real quick and see about putting the feet on it. And then I'm going to hook it up. It's got an AC power, and I don't, it probably, I think, would be 12 volt too, because I think this, I was thinking this is a model for your car, but I'm going to use it as a base station. Maybe it is just a base station. Let's see what all comes in there. Comes with a nice mic. Got your 12 volt plug there, and I guess that's what that's for. And I'm going to hook that. That 12 volt plug, I'll put one of those adapters on the end of it and use my 12 volt hub here. And I think I might have AC too, but it doesn't. And it's got a mounting bracket, which I'm not going to use because I may or may not, I don't know for sure if I'm going to mount this one in my car. I really wanted to use it as a base station. And then later I'll get another one that's got the single sideband. There are some issues right now with the water around here. Anyway, more to come. Alrighty, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this adapter onto all this wire. I got tons of wire, but I'm not going to cut any off. They've got a little solder on that, and I stripped these back a little bit more, and they had the ends soldered, but I'm going to put these connectors on there and hook it up to my hub. Okay, so what I did is I put those little connectors on there. This wire is really thin and this wire is pretty thick, so I jammed it in there as well as I could. Use the pliers to crimp it down, and I think I got it pretty tight, but I went ahead and put a little bit of tape on the ends anyway, and I left some exposed just so I could see later what's in the middle, and that'll just help. I pulled on it and it didn't come out, but I wanted to put something a little bit extra on there. And so here's the base station. It's not a base station, and those weren't feet either. They were screws for the mounting bracket. And then I'm going to plug in to my little hub here. Whoa! So these are kind of cool because it's and an on-off type of thing. So I'm going to just turn it off. It'll be alright. And so you can see, you know, on-off. Okay, this is the first time I've turned this radio on. So I don't have the mic plugged in yet. So they kind of already have most of it set up, I think. I'm just going to turn everything kind of mic gain, RF gain. CB. You'd expect to hear something coming out of it if I have the squelch all the way down. I think it's an auto. Well, here's the squelch right here. I'm gonna power up my little old. I bought these brand new, like in 1980 something. You can see I'm getting some RF out of that. Yes, yeah, it's coming out. So there's the President Walker. I'm going to call my brother in a few minutes. My lovely wife, Susanna, just brought me a nice little drinky poo. Oh boy, that's good. Here comes the mic. Should I power it off first, do you think? What was that? Emergency off. CB off. On. Where's just the off on? There. Simple. You know, the President radios are pretty famous. Alright. Still my walkie-talkie on. I don't want to bend the antenna. Walkie-talkies, I found out, are channel 14. So they use the frequency that most CBs. Oh, you know what? I need to put the antenna up. I've got a base antenna. Let's hook that up real quick so that we don't fry anything. Gosh, the quality of this President radio looks really good. And I'll get into the operation later. I just wanted to get this little weird setup here that you're seeing. And you can see how much space, how little space it takes for all the stuff I have here. It's like command central. Can't ask for much more. 14, radio check. Radio check, so it's coming through on my walkie-talkie, so that tested. Alright, so CB, that's a nice radio. CB you don't need FCC for, and it's really funny because this guy you do. So FCC license for the GMRS license is $70 for 10 years, and it's good for all your family. Oh, I had to plug my phone into this guy up here to charge it up. So anyway, let me give my brother a call and see if we can do a test. He bought a couple handheld CBs, but we also bought a JC Penney 40 channel, and we don't have all the stuff yet. But if you look at my earlier video, I've got that Radio Shack. I think it's a model 490 something BaseStation. I left that all hooked up down at the coast because I've got all that. I've got a place down on the Oregon coast. Anyway, more to come on that. I'm going to give Nicky a call, and then I'll see if he wants to be on TV. Hang on. Take a look at this. Not my mess. So I went to Google and searched for President Locker FCC blah 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 manual, and it came up with this little deal on President's Electronics USA, and it tells you, a bunch of stuff about the radio. And then the manual, I'm guessing, because I bought it on Amazon, probably this is like the version. So I left the manual in the box, but check this. This is a way to do it. So it's got all the functions there, and 4 languages. I didn't look at the manual, I just hooked the thing up. I kind of need to see some of the stuff though once I get using it. Anyway, and you can print this too on a big page instead of a little manual, so you can print it out of your printer, and omit some of the stuff you don't need, but you can print it on big paper. And of course you just want the English one if you're English or speak English, and if you speak Spanish then you want the Spanish one, or Italian, or whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to be looking up some stuff, and it's a PDF, so you can probably do a search on it. I think I'm going to download this thing right now. Put it in my CB folder so I can find it. Oh yeah, that's alright. I'll just go with that. Alright, I called my brother, but he's busy, so we'll do the radio check soon. Here we are again. I put the CB into scan mode by pressing the up button and for approximately 7 seconds until it beeped, and to stop that and go back to the dial, you press the down button. I also added, I bought this 3-range Micronta, I guess it's Radio Shack modulation SWR tester. So basically the CB, there's a cable that comes with CB antenna out into transmit. The antenna hooks up to where it says antenna. And the reason I got this is so I could see what the modulation and SWR are. Radio check 39. So when I keyed up, it just stopped scanning. So you can see the SWR is 1. So that antenna, it's one I bought at Bimart. It's a Midland, fits on the car antenna. It was like 20 bucks. And then the modulation, you can adjust on the radio. I've got it on max RF power, and then you can see it's transmitting at about 3 watts, 3.5 on channel 39, so that's pretty good. One radio check. So it all looks like it's working well. I'm still, I've got, just a mobile antenna, and I'm in a basement. So I plan to test it with that mobile antenna, and then tomorrow I'm going to move this whole thing out to the garage, this part. And I've got another radio I'm going to hook up and test too. So press the up button. You hear the beep. Now it's going to scan. It's a nice radio, really nice. You can tell it's quality. Alrighty, I'm going to do a rundown on some of the stuff because I screwed up on pricing. So this battery backup, UPS 600. It's a APC UPS battery backup and surge protector with USB chargers, 600 volt amps, APC backup UPS. Amazon is about $59. I think I might have got that one right. This 3 position cigarette adapter. They call it on Amazon cigarette lighter adapter, 3-socket cigarette lighter splitter with LED, $12. These I made that plug for the CB radio. That was on Amazon. It was $7.69. This ENKEEO, ENKEEO power station, 155 watt hours, lithium battery supply with AC/DC, 130. That's $130. The President Walker CB. Let's get rid of that. The description on that is President Walker 2 CB radio, and also I saw on there it was President Walker 2. They had a different description. FCC. I don't get why they called it that. That was 139. I think I said 89. It's 139. Let's see. This Midland Basecamp XT511 GMRS radio, which again you have to have FCC for this one, and you can just go search FCC and you'll get it, on Google. That was $90. So that's a real cool thing. So that's about, and these little Midlands I got those at Buymart on sale for like $32 or $35, something like that. And they came with 4 each AAA rechargeables, which seem to burn up pretty fast. So that's about it on this package here. So that'll give you an idea of the pricing, and prices change, but I think I'm going to really like this, and I'm going to use this to plug into my router when I move it. I've got some, going to make some moves. I think I can get by with this from my little mobile base station. Oh, and I got this 3-range modulation tester. So it testing gives you watts and modulation and SWR. SWR is supposed to be at 1. Seems to be working. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So it's supposed to be right down in the 1 range. Let's get it to bump just a little bit. So that's the calibration for the antenna. And I got that on eBay. Obviously it's an old thing, and you just have to search that out and find it. And I think I can download the manual off online, which I've done on a lot of other stuff. So that's it for this segment. I'm going to get on the radio here in a minute, and I'll probably turn this back on for that. Alright, well here it is, and we did get the radio check done. I am in low ground, and I was using a magnetic antenna. So I was able to hit my brother about a mile away with both the CB and this little Midland base camp, as well as those little Midland radios. And he was having some trouble hitting me. He's up a little bit higher. Anyway, look at all this stuff. And it all fits on this little space. You can see my hand, it's not that big. So you can get a lot of stuff in a little tiny area. Anyway, so I've got my iPhone charging up on the battery. There's not much plugged into that. I think I might eliminate that on this application and just use this plug here for the base camp, or you know, I think I can go to 12 volt. Anyway, the way it's set up now, it's going to be good when the power goes off, or I can go mobile. I probably won't take this guy with me. It's all tuned. The radio seems to work fine. Everything seems to check. 13 radio check. There's nobody out there really in this area. I even tried 19, which is supposed to be 17 and 19, or the freeway, which is only about a mile away. But I am pretty low, and once I get the antenna up high, I've got a garage that's right next door here that I can put. I've got a 5-foot, I forget what it's a good antenna, highly rated. I'm going to put that up tomorrow, and I think stuff is going to come together. So this guy has a light on it too. I'm going to have to figure out where the switch is for that to turn it on. Light. And then there's a light on that battery pack, so between the two of them you can light things up pretty good. Anyway, that's going to be it for this little deal, and you'll see tomorrow I'll make another video when I hook all this stuff up again. So hooray, it all worked.